We've all been talking about scores around 150, 155, 160, maybe being the kind of target you'd look at, being Sharjah and being Sharjah 2.0, not what we had last season. In the context of that, where Kolkata find themselves, as we review everything on Cricbuzz Comm Box, it seems to be a comfortable position. 69 without loss in 10 overs. The important thing, they've got 10 wickets in hand. And while Shubman Gill started off with a flyer, slowed down a little bit, batting has been tough. So if it's tough for Kolkata, it'll end up being tough for the chasing side. Joy, just to update things as we get into our discussion, the first ball of the 11th over, no, it's not a wicket, don't worry. The first ball of the 11th over has gone for a maximum. 75 without loss now in 10.1. Not a bad platform.
Not a bad platform, and it's also the first ball of spin bowled in this match so far. And that's very interesting because if you look at the Kolkata team, they're playing with 3 spinners. And here, if you see five fast bowlers were tried, or not fast, medium fast bowlers were tried by Rajasthan before they turned to the spinner. So very different tactic. They're trying to stick it into the ground and make sure that the ball doesn't really come up. And it's a very, very different tactic from the way that Kolkata is going to bowl. But there, Jaydev Unadkat did well in the beginning, but after that last over, he really got collared. He went for some 14 runs in his last over. Chris Morris has been much better. Chetan Sakaria has bowled well. Mustafizur is always excellent. And Shivam Dubey actually got out a nice over for them. So I think the bowlers, with the possible exception of Unadkat being collared towards the end, had sort of quietened things down. But I think not getting a wicket will count because they can really now afford to throw their bats around.
They certainly can, and they've got lots and lots of batting to come, lots of batting options. But interesting, you should mention that this is what is to come. Tripathi has been rapid this season. Nitish Rana always contributes. And even if you look at Owen Morgan as being the little black sheep of the family, having not really given the number of runs, when you've got a platform like this, you're probably not even worrying about Morgan. You've added Shakib Al Hasan to the lineup. You know Sunil Narayan can go and thrash it. So lots and lots to come in just a matter of the back 9 overs in a sense. I'm glad you mentioned that division, Joy, because against a team that relies on spin on a slowish surface, I thought it was a little bit surprising. But throughout the season, they've only taken 9 wickets to spin, and over 50 wickets have gone to quick bowlers for Rajasthan. It's been their way.
It's been their way. It's been their way, and they realize that they can't really change the composition of their side because if they start playing a lot of spinners, their spinners haven't played. Shreyas Gopal hasn't played. Their guys haven't been playing. And if you're not playing on surfaces like this, there's only one danger. They've got a terrific start. They're going to try and call it the spinner. So I don't know how much more Tewatia is going to bowl because I think their fast bowlers were working better, or their medium pacers were working better than their spinners. The interesting thing is, on a pitch like this, if you lose a wicket, whoever comes in is not going to find it easy to bat. So, wickets can go down in 2s and 3s simply because if you're trying to slog out here, it just ball's not coming on. So the guys who are at the crease, the Venkatesh Iyers, and you notice how Venkatesh has now started hitting the ball because he's finally understood the nature of that wicket.
Well, started hitting the ball has also been his downfall. He's tried to go for an almighty reverse hit, swap, sweep kind of a shot. Not even sure how to describe it, but with 38 of 35, he's sort of done his job, kind of job he's done for Kolkata. Now, before we actually find out who's coming in next, Joy, let me put you on the spot. Yes, it's the Comm Box curse that has actually led to a wicket falling, but it was one of those things people who turn around and say, don't always attribute it to it, because it's the time of the innings with wickets in hand, batsmen are going to go for it. Would you send a Sunil Narayan up at this point in time, or would you say Tripathi and company have hit the ball well enough? Don't change it.
I like Rahul Tripathi. Honestly, just because he's done so well at number 3, I wouldn't move him from number 3. But if Tripathi also goes, I'd just take a chance on Sunil Narayan, put him in there and say that, you know what, get it off, get a few shots, don't. I really think Tripathi is the one player because of the form he's in who can go from ball 1. And he's actually their most successful batsman this season by a fairly far margin. So I expect Tripathi to come in, but stranger things have been known to happen. And Brendan is a man who has very interesting views on how he plays the game.
Yeah, we've also got someone like Shakib Al Hasan, who at some point in time could find himself with the pads on coming in early. But a word on Rajasthan. Now that they've played 10 overs of pace, or medium pace, or non-spin, shall we say, they've got a wicket with spin. Do you think Sanju's telling himself, I wish I had another spinner to turn to? Tewatia has got me a wicket in his very first over.
Yeah, but he doesn't really have too many spinners.
is an option.
Livingston is an option. Livingston is an option. Also, again, if the left-handers come in, you can sneak in a couple of overs. Nitish Rana comes in, you can sneak in. Owen Morgan is there. If there's one left-hand in the crease, I'll try and get in a couple of overs at Livingston. But remember one thing: I think the key for them is not just who they can bring into bowl, but the fact that somebody like Mustafizur has 3 overs left at the end. I think that's really important to them. They've finished off Jaydev Unatkar. Okay, they have 3 overs of Mustafizur. So from 14 to 21 end will be tight. Mustafizur on this pitch will be difficult to hit. And I think Chetan Zakaria also bowls well towards the death. So 5 decent overs they have left. They have Morris as well. They don't really need to go to anyone. They need to get one more over out, and they don't need to go to anyone else. Then they can just finish with Morris, Mustafizur, and Chetan Zakaria.
Well, they had the option just in case if there's a googly type of bowler who could bowl to the left-handers. Nitish Rana has walked out to bat. It's not Tripathi. It's not Narayan. He's gone for the left-handed option, but he's gone for a different one in Nitish Rana. We'll see if they keep the left-right combination going. For now, there's a platform laid there. 150 still very much looks on the cards. Rajasthan will look to that quality bowling at the back end to try and see if they can change things. It promises to be a fascinating back 8.5 overs or so. We'll see you at the end of the halfway mark on Cricbuzz Live. For now, it's all from Comm Box.